Andrew of Machine Art Moto, and this is part 2 of the introduction to the Advanced Guard multifunctional handguards, our newest model for adventure touring. And I am going to be demonstrating how to install the Advanced Guard on this R1200 GS water-cooled bike. We'll go through the contents of the kit and then proceed to begin the installation. Here you see the contents of the Advanced Guard kit. It includes everything you will need with a specific forged mount for the handlebar attachment according to the model and make of your bike. The guards themselves are fully assembled. The front insert is installed. The sliding shield is installed. So you won't have to do any of that to start. Just pull it out of the box and it is as you see it. The fitment pieces are laid out here. You'll need to adapt the mounting to the kind of bar you have. If you have an adventure bike, then it is a taper bar typically, and this is a taper bar adapter, which is flexible polypropylene, so you spread it apart to lay over the bar. And the flared side is what faces outward toward your grip. These bar adapters are for 7/8 inch bars that you might find on a BMW F650 GS and some others. And then these are bar end caps that fit at the end of the guard frame itself and are retained by the screw that either comes with the bike or we supply the screw. At the other end, this is the end that mounts to the end of your handlebar, this end to the forged mounts. Now these are designed specifically for a particular model. We are going to install an R1200 GS, so this is the version that is kit number 1 for the GS. It also fits the F800, 700, 650 GS. It's exactly the same part, but it is an adjustable mount so that this is for the 1200 GS, this is for the F800 GS. And once you select one or the other, the screw is installed and firmed up. So that is part of the adaptability to different models. Off to the left, there are 2 additional mounts for our mounting kit number 2. This style fits the earlier R1200 BMW GS and Adventure from 2005 to 2012. And this is part of kit number 3. And this will fit the Honda Africa Twin, the KTM series of off-road adventure bikes, Kawasaki KLR, and we are verifying its fit on other models as time goes on. So these are here to show you the differences. So that's the general introduction to the contents of the kit. Let's now start the installation. Now, our first step is to remove the BMW stock handguard. In order to do so, in this case, I've had to remove the mirror, which is already removed, and then remove the bolt that holds on the handguard and the bar end weight behind it. So I am using a T50 Torx driver. The screw is rather long, so it'll take a few moments to withdraw. And once it's out, the bar end weight behind it will come off. We will reuse the bar end weight as well as the screw when we install the Advanced Guard. And there you can see the weight behind that. We're going to reuse that. Now the next step is to install the forged bar mount after, of course, you've taken off any existing handguard that you have installed. We're going to be installing this from kit number 1 to fit the R1200 GS liquid cooled. The first thing to do is to take the molded plastic taper bar adapter and flex it and pop it over the bar, just like that. Now it may slide around a little bit and we will be adjusting its final position a little bit later, but this is just to hold it in place until we can mount the two halves of our bar mount. So you notice that there is a flared section here on this bar adapter. That should face outward toward the end of your hand grip. The bar mount fits up against that flared section, and then you'll take the upper half, the clamp, and place it on top of our plastic bar adapter. And for me, it usually is a little bit better to actually have the screws in place when I place it over the bar adapter so that they are ready for me then to begin to screw it into the section below it. What we're doing is using a T25 Torx driver. We're not going to tighten it entirely. We're just going to get it snug so that we have the ability to adjust its position later as necessary. There. Now we're going to install the advanced guard to finally convert it to something advanced and really useful to you. We're going to take the bar end weight that we removed before, put it on the back side. Then we supply, in some cases, sometimes you use your own bar end cap. For example, on the 2005 through 2012 BMW R1200 GS, you use its own cap. However, in this case, we supply a new one and put the bolt in the assembly. And we're going to put the other end onto the handlebar adapter that we've already installed. And on this end, start screwing it in lightly so that we just make it secure but not tight, because we are going to be doing a little bit of adjustment after the fact. Now we're going to hand install this screw to the bar adapter. Notice everything is still movable. We need that in order to check clearances everywhere before finally tightening. And I'm going to take a screwdriver and just cinch it to the point where there's no slop here. And we're going to tighten this just enough so it stays into place, but still able to be adjusted. Okay, it's staying in place. Now, it is very important that you check clearance with your cables, with your brake lines, and clearance between the guard in its raised position and your aftermarket windshield or stock windshield, whatever the case may be, to make sure you have enough clearance. This is essential. We don't want any crashing with other components on the motorcycle as this is moved from lock to lock. So do move it all the way over, check for clearance, make adjustments up or down as needed, cinch it a little bit, check it again, and if all is good, then tighten it. You must do that on both sides because there may be some dimensional variation between the end of the bar and the center line of the handlebar here where it's mounted. Now that we've checked clearance, everything seems to be all right, we're going to tighten fully this T50 bolt. And depending on your bike model, this may be an M6 bolt with a hex cap screw. It may be other kind of screw, but for this 1200 GS, we're using the T50. And we're going to cinch fully this M6 screw, locating it against the bar. The last thing to do is to finally tighten the two screws that hold together the bar mount. Remember, we had installed this loosely at first to allow it to move a little bit for adjustment purposes. And then now we use this T25 driver to cinch it nicely home. Okay, everything is nicely in place. Repeat on the other side, and do check Clearance, again, after both sides are finished, for no contact with any other surrounding parts from lock to lock. That does it.